Could our expectations be making our life chaotic? Hi, I'm the old dude. Now, you have friends, of course. You might have a friend like this. I had a casual friend, it's been over 10 years ago. It's when I lived in another city. I'll call him Clarence. That's not his real name. I'll call him Clarence. Now, he said when he was a child that he didn't get the love, and support, and affection and such from his parents, from his siblings. He really felt quite alone. And then when he was in his 20s, he didn't get the attention and affection from his wife that he expected marriage to bring him. And then his children, the kids were unwilling to help or cooperate in the family. He thought he'd lost his grip on ever getting a happy family life. Heck, he was just expecting, some sort of love and support from those that are closest to him. At the time, I didn't know what to say to my friend. It didn't seem to me that what he expected was out of the norm or unreasonable. I can understand him feeling let down by those who were closest to him, his family and such. Or could it be what we expect? It's that's letting us down, and maybe not those that are closest to us. In my previous videos, I talked about positive expectancy. Now, with positive expectancy, you might think I meant what we expect to get in life and what people in life can do and do for us to make us happy. But positive expectancy doesn't consider specific things. Don't confuse positive expectancy with what we expect from people and from specific things that happen in our life. With positive expectancy, you in general expect things to be okay. Nothing specific. Nothing specific. I think you'll find if you have expectations from people, you're going to be disappointed. By having specific expectations, you're depending on other people to do certain things or be in a certain way. And that kind of makes you a victim in life. Well, the bad news is you don't have any control over people. But the good news is you can control your own expectations. You can control yourself. You don't need anybody's help with that. That's good news. As I look back on it, that's what Clarence's problem was. Clarence's problem was that he expected people to change. In effect, he became a victim. With positive expectancy, in general, you look at people in a positive light. You leave that victim role, and you can now look at what's really happening. So this could allow you to just consider what they may be going through and why they're acting like they are. Why didn't Clarence's kids help out around the house? Perhaps Clarence's kids were afraid of making mistakes. So that's why they didn't help. If they don't help, they can't make mistakes. So Clarence might have thought they were lazy and unwilling, when that's perhaps not really the case. Clarence chastised his kids for being lazy and being unwilling to help. But if he looked at them in a different light, from a positive perspective, maybe he would have dug deeper and found out they were afraid of making mistakes, perhaps because Clarence was critical in the past to his children. That's just one scenario, and I'm just guessing. I haven't seen Clarence in years. I can't ask him. Those closest to Clarence, they might have had other issues, even out to his extended family, perhaps. They might have had trouble with anxiety, that crippled me for so many decades. They might have had different fears, some maybe a drug habit we don't know about. Perhaps his problems at a job that eated a person, so that a spouse working at a difficult job isn't affectionate because she's full of anxiety and other issues that cause her to well up inside and be distant. Perhaps there's some health issues where a person just doesn't feel good. They may not complain about it, but it just eats at them. And if we look at things from a positive perspective, we just might unearth what the real problem is. Is the spouse not affectionate? With positive expectancy, you look at your spouse in a positive light and you see other good things that your spouse does do. Clarence could look at what he's doing or not doing to attract attention from his wife, and maybe it might get Clarence to look at his smoking of cigarettes. Perhaps that was keeping his wife distant. She didn't complain about the cigarettes, perhaps, but she didn't like it, and it kept her distant from him. That's one possible scenario. Even when I reflect on my life, I had issues I wasn't aware of at the time that kept me distant. For instance, my anxiety. I was welled up all the time, uptight because of that anxiety. Now, the problems that you have as an individual and that I had, we can do things about that because we can change ourselves. That's what I did when I cured my anxiety. You can't change other people, but you can change yourself. And that's what I did, and my life got a lot better because of that. Really, today, I'm sure there's still some issues that I haven't weeded out yet that keep me distant from people, but I'm always looking. Yes, because the difference is I search and I face those issues. I expect that in general, life will turn out positive, and the things in my life will be positive. Are they always that way? No. But in general, I do okay. Anyway, that positive expectancy I had, it makes me consider what I can do about any situation instead of expecting other people to change. Let's look at a possible scenario. The wife may not be cooking dinner. Never happens in my house. She always feeds me. Good. But if that were to happen, instead of expecting something, I wouldn't expect her to make anything. I'd look at her and the situation in a positive light, which makes me consider other things. Maybe she's in a quandary because the pantry doesn't have much in it. Maybe she's tired and I could suggest a restaurant. Or maybe I could get off my lazy butt and cook something too. Or something else. So it'd be good to turn your life over to positive expectancy and relax. Go with the flow instead of insisting that things go your way. Don't confuse positive expectancy with specific expectations we may have. Now, if I were to see Clarence again, and we talked about this subject, I wouldn't really give him advice, but I might give him these suggestions, and he can take what he likes and just ignore everything else I said. Each individual is different. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. How would you handle these situations? Perhaps you even have a better way. Let's help one another out. Talk to you later.